Hi, Ronnie. Good morning. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning. How are you all?
We all are good, and I guess you're traveling and you somewhere on the highway, right? You're managing it somewhere from the
Yes, yes,
highway.
yes. Yes, actually.
So, yes, here's our guest for today, Ronnie Narayan. So, hi, Ronnie. We are here to discuss, inspire our audience. We're going to share your story about how you reversed your diabetes from like just through the journey of cycling. Yes. So, a
Yeah,
brief
only with
introduction
this of the.
about, you just give me a brief introduction and then we shall start with the quick Q&A session.
Yeah, hi. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting me here. I'm actually I'm a type 2 diabetic, and that's actually I'm a working professional, and I'm 41 right now, and I have been diagnosed with diabetes 7 years back.
Okay.
So So it was, it was quite high at that time. So, diabetes is such a thing, we cannot do everything with medicines and all. So we have to start
Sorry
some
to
kind of
interrupt
physical
you,
activity.
Ronnie, but our audience cannot hear you so loud and clear. So can you just move on to a little quieter place? I can hear you, but I guess the audience are having a yes. Sorry to
I'm audio.
interrupt. Yes, Ronnie.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. Actually, I'm very, extremely very sorry. I'm middle of road right now.
It's absolutely fine. I can understand and thank you so much. I understand you are on the highway, you in the middle of some journey and you could take out the time and share your inspiring story. And I'm going to share, I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of us. So yeah, please tell us. So when were you diagnosed with
See,
diabetes?
See, that was actually in 2014. I was first diagnosed with diabetes, but that time it was not so high. It was like, say my this one, the fasting level was 130 or 140, something like that, and
Okay.
my PP level was around 170, 180.
Okay.
So I
So,
should have
sorry to
taken
interrupt.
that time.
People who do not know the normal blood sugar level, fasting should be below 100, and the postprandial, that is 2 hours after eating, should be below 140. Yes, Ronnie, please continue.
Yeah. So I should have taken that situation, very seriously that time. But in when you are in early 30s and you are having a corporate job, so you are very reluctant. Chalo, we are having medicines. That means ki you can think ki chalo, it can be over, it can be cured. You are taking medicines and all. But I was very reluctant that time, you can say. And I got a result, in hand to hand in just in 1 year. In
Okay.
2015, my sugar level actually went up some ridiculously. It was my fasting was that time 388,
That's a
and
lot.
the PP was the PP was 690 that time.
So,
So
were you
and with
hospitalized or
diabetes.
something?
No, it was like the doctor told me you have to be, you have to hospitalize immediately. So I
Okay.
just asked him, okay, do, but give me anything you want to give me, but I cannot go into the hospital. That situation, you have a family to look after, you have a small kid, This times, actually, it was very depressing that time. The, chalo, it went up so high. And my doctor diagnosed that time, yeah, I had to take insulin shots that time because oral medicines cannot do anything. When you
Right.
have so high blood sugar level, you have to take
Exactly.
insulin shots. And that time I had to take the highest dose of insulin, 40, 20, something like that. 40 in the morning, 20 in the evening. That was an see diabetes when you are actually diagnosing with diabetes and all, no? Diabetes means in what I believe in India, it's like a taboo. The thing is that you just feel कि, okay, your life is gone. मतलब, nothing is left there. You have to live with
Yeah,
that. You have
actually,
to.
diabetes
मतलब,
is a combination of a lot of diseases. It is just not about your blood sugar level. It affects your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your kidney, your feet, your eyes. So a lot of stuff. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's
I
true.
mean,
That's
so,
true. Even
so
yeah,
Ronnie, what
my
did you do? I mean, what was your reaction? And you are a cyclist. So, as I know that the basic cure, I mean, how to control your blood sugar level is through a healthy lifestyle that includes healthy eating habits plus some physical activity. So that is
yes,
that
yes.
when you took in cycling?
Yes, that was the thing. I took cycling that time only because I have a knee injury from my college days.
Okay.
I cannot go into running or something like that. What I understand कि चलो cycling, as it is not a direct contact sport, मतलब you are not your feet or your knee is not hitting the ground directly. So you
Yes.
can start
It's
that.
not
And
a weight
yeah,
bearing
I
sport. Cycling isn't a weight bearing
yeah,
sport. Yeah.
yes. So I asked my doctor also, कि suppose if I start cycling, will it be help? So we just say, okay, do whatever. It's not like you have to do cycling, you have to do for running. You have some little jogging, some walking, good brisk walk, or a gym session. Everything can
Any
happen. But
sort
the
of
thing is that
physical
you have to
activity.
burn. Yeah, you have to burn your calorie. The thing is like that. And as in diabetes, your pancreas is not working properly. So it is actually insulin reluctant. We can. So you have to push your body to reach that phase so that your pancreas also can work properly. So I started cycling that time, and it was like very small, cycling for say 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, something like that time. So slowly, slowly, it is not. It is actually a matter of how you are starting. You need to
Exactly.
start something.
A great journey
So
always begins with the first step.
yes, and taking up that first step is never been easy. Actually,
That's the biggest
you
challenge.
know, yeah, in at that time I was just thinking ki how I will wake up early in the morning. I have to take up my cycle. I have to buy a cycle, and then I have to wake up early in the morning. So I have to go to the bed early in the night. So no late night everything, we have to wake up early. So that was, mind blockage was also there. But, when it is comes to survival, okay,
Exactly.
there is nothing. Actually. That was
True.
the time actually for my survival. Yeah, I have to survive because I have a family to look after. I have friends, I have everything. So they also were they were scared that time. So it is not a great time actually. It was a tough time then. I started cycling, and after say we can say a week or a 2 week later, I understand कि चलो it's a lovely sport actually.
You
And
started
it was I
enjoying
can
it.
and we can yes, yes, and everything. It's not cycling only. Whatever you want to do, you have to enjoy that.
Exactly.
I do cycle because I didn't have any other options that time. But when I started cycling, then I think कि चलो it's a very good thing. I was just enjoying that time cycling. That was never nothing was in my mind कि I have to ride, cycle for 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers or 100 kilometers. It was just to cycle, just to wake up in the morning, go outside, see the beauty of the world, see what mother nature is actually offering you. Go out there, see whatever, and your mind, whenever your mind gets fresh now, everything will, it will comes one upon the other. It will come in the phases.
So, over the period of time, gradually over a period of time, your blood sugar level, I guess, started dropping. And you were off the
Yes.
insulin injections after a particular period of time, right?
Yeah, it took me around 1 year or something, 1 year plus some days
So
to
that's
throw up my
great.
insulin
1 year
injections.
is I mean, since I'm a clinical nutritionist myself, I know 1 year is like controlling, moving on, getting off your insulin injections is a great, thing to do. So is your blood sugar level under control now?
Yeah, it is under control now. It's my fasting level is now. Last week only when I measured, it was my fasting was 106 and my PP was
106,
130.
that's great. Okay. And so, how do you celebrate? How do you celebrate have you given up on your sweets, your desserts completely, or yeah, you do relish them?
How could you give up everything?
You don't
I
have to
do take
give up
sweets.
at all. Moderation is the key.
See, yes, yes. The thing is that see,
Moderation
you
is the
don't
key.
need to give up everything. But love, you can take sweets, you can take, the food, whatever you like. But you have to control it. You need to control yourself. You need to understand when you can take that food, or when you can take a piece of sweet, or matlab, what would be the exact quantity so that it will not harm you.
Okay, Ronnie, there's a question from one of our audience, and they want to know what were the immediate nutrition corrections you made to control your blood sugar level.
See, nutrition control means I had, I had lowered my carbohydrates intake that time
Yes.
because yeah, very little on my carbohydrates, but I had increased that protein and other diets. Proteins means not that proteins from only meat. The seeds are good in a very good source of proteins and all. So I was that time, on protein diet only. You can say at
Oh,
that particular
okay.
time.
And what about fats? Fats are also very
Yeah, fats.
important for your body.
Yes, 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 yes. That all also. But you need to take good fats.
Yes, you need to take good fats. Yes, absolutely right.
And what I believe, there you need, consultation from a good nutritionist.
So, did you consult a nutritionist?
Yeah, at that time, that particular time, I took a
Okay.
consultation from a nutritionist. Yeah,
So,
and
would you like to
that
share
diet
some of
chart.
the tips?
See, it was not, matlab, not like what the professionals in any sports used to take or they what they do. It was like you have to control your carbohydrates level. You have to see matlab, how much calorie your body actually needs, and that whatever the excess calorie is, you have to burn that out. That's the thing. So I was taking that time, food intakes, the diet chart. Yeah, I was strictly following that time the diet chart,
Okay.
because
So, you're
I
not
do not
following
have
any
any other.
diet chart
I
now?
do not. I do follow. I do follow. But sometimes, बस हो जाता है.
हो जाता है. I hope you don't want to get it back.
No, no, never, never. No one can actually, if you can, if you're asking me to see what was that time, so I can feel, matlab, that was a very bad time. I have never thought that sort of time will come into my life. That was very tough that time, and I do not want to go back to that phase. Never, just never.
Are
Even
you
not
fond
only
of
me, no
sweets?
one wants to go.
Are you fond of sweets?
But
Are you fond of sweets?
not. Yeah, I like sweets. Everyone likes
Okay.
sweets.
So we have a
Huh?
question
I
from
do
one
take.
of our audience who wants to know. How do you control? I mean, if somebody is really fond of sweets, how do you control the sugar level? I love sweets. I just love sweets.
See, you you are the best person to give the answer actually. But what I know is sweets are not the cause of diabetes. It may be a way. If you are diagnosed with diabetes, it will help not harm you. But sweets are not. But the taking sweets are not the cause of diabetes. So if
Exactly.
you are still if you are
Exactly.
yeah, if you are a diabetic, you can still have some sweets and all, but you have to understand a piece of sweet, a piece of gulab jamun, a piece of rasgulla. Is it worth with your family? You have to calculate that thing.
Okay, what was your who was your main support or motivation when you began with your journey towards being a non-diabetic?
See, motivation means you have to find your own motivation. My
Exactly.
motivation came from my family, because that time, I have elderly parents, I have a family to look after. Motivation came from that time. That's part only. It depends. You don't need to follow someone else, some big names and all. It maybe comes from anywhere.
Yes, it
Just
basically
think
comes
about
from
your
people
family.
close to you. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could just be anybody. So,
Anybody. Yes, yes,
yeah.
that's it.
So, can you just give us a few tips? I mean, the people who are diabetic, your story has been really inspiring, and I'm inspired, and I'm sure it has inspired a lot of many more odd people, out. So, would you like to share some tips?
See, when you are starting something, na, there is never, comes into your mind ki you want to inspire someone.
Yes. So, Ronnie, please give us some tips
See,
about how can we reverse that diabetes. I mean, how
see, the
cycling.
thing,
Yes.
cycling is a very good sport. When you are considering to doing cardiovascular exercise, cycling is a lovely sport. It's not like that you are burning your calories and all. You can freshen up your mind also, because cycling, it's not move. A cycle, it's not actually moving your body. It can move your soul also, and you
That's
can
a
you can
great
visit.
statement.
You can go, you can roam, you can go to any places you want. You can actually the you know you can feel the joy of your childhood. When we used to do cycle, we used to go to our schools on cycle. We used to roam around, in our locality with cycle. You can feel that joy. Matlab, it's like you're getting back your childhood.
Okay.
That's the beauty of cycling. That's the beauty of cycling. And when your mind is fresh, your mind is good, you can do anything. This diabetes and all, it will just a matter of time to go. So you have to do something. And cycling, it's a lovely sport. Yeah, it's a lovely sport. At least there are some phases, there's some other steps also. When you are going into some intense cycling, some long distance, some endurance cycling, there are many things. But at least you start it once and everything will comes up.
So, how does it feel, Ronnie, leading a normal life, and how often do you splurge on sweet desserts? How often it is, and when you do so, how do you balance the sugar level?
See, how often means, yeah, it's rare. It's rare. It's
So,
not
is it
like
like
that.
the
Yeah,
day
I
you
am
got
taking.
to have a dessert, you do in some extra cycling? I mean, how do you compensate?
No, but no, the thing is that it's actually, you say earlier, no, where from I get my motivation, it's like that. Last night it's like that. Last night I have taken some sweets. I have taken a good dish of dessert. So today morning I have to do something extra. That
So
there from
since
there only the motivation comes. Huh?
okay, so Ronnie, one more thing, as far as I know, a diabetic cannot begin any sort of physical activity if his fasting blood sugar is, or any time his blood sugar level is below 100, right? So, I mean, what do
Yeah.
you do? I mean, do you test your blood sugar when you're going for some intense cycling? How do you balance it? I mean, you definitely cannot begin any sort of physical activity if your blood sugar is below 100.
See, that's correct. You have to monitor your diabetes, but you have to particular, you have to monitor it very regularly when you are a diabetic. See, when you are doing some exercise, some intense exercise, your sugar level is that is actually it's going down. So, if it is going down all of a sudden, that will also very harmful. So you have
Yes.
to monitor
A low
properly.
blood sugar
And
level
when
is more dangerous than a high blood sugar level.
yes. And when you are a diabetic, when you are doing some intense exercise and all, you have to take the during activity nutrition. Take some food, take some good hydrate yourself, take some good food. During that course of exercise and all. And see, you have to monitor. See, you have to understand. कि, चलो, you are diabetic. If you want to live a peaceful life, a good life, you have to monitor your diabetes. You cannot just let the diabetes, okay, chalo, it is there, okay, I will see. No, it is not like that. I have faced that thing. I have ignored diabetes and it has actually, matlab, I messed up completely that time. So whenever if you are a diabetic, respect that glucose level, respect that Mr. Glucose. Chalo, okay, you are there. Okay, we have to live with him or the glucose thing. So you have to monitor and do. Yeah, yes, you can do intense exercise. You can do. There are see what I know. There are many. There is a cycling team called Team Novo Nordics.
Okay.
That's a professional cycling team, and that's a all diabetic team.
Oh,
Every member,
really?
every cyclist, everyone is the diabetic.
That's
So you can
amazing and
see, matlab,
something new I heard of.
yes, yeah.
So, you guys
And
keep
actually, the
motivating
company,
each other?
that cycling team actually from US, not from India.
Okay. But that is
They
great.
are
This is
actually,
something absolutely new I
yeah,
heard of. And I love the concept.
yes. If you are diabetic, go to their videos, see their videos, read their stories. You know, you can, you don't need any other motivation or inspiration. Anything, matlab, they will get everything from their side. Matlab, how they are performing in a highest level of sport, how they are performing, and it is nothing. Matlab, you don't. It is nothing like that. Ki, chalo, you are diabetic means your life is over. No, it is not like that. One thing I must say, don't let Mr. Glucose to decide your fate. That's the main thing. It's a beautiful world. A simple piece of paper, where your sugar level is there, it should not decide your fate. Chalo, okay. Many bad things can happen in your life, but we have to overcome that.
Okay.
It
Thank
doesn't
you
mean
so
you
much, Ronnie,
once you
for
are.
sharing your story. I would just, being a clinical nutritionist,
And
yeah, please.
yeah, Shalu, one thing. I also get to know that you are a sports nutritionist, the clinical nutritionist. So even it would be good for us, good for me also to get some tips from your side. What would be, the diet, what would be the nutrition, will the pupil like me or the other diabetic pupil can get, so that it can serve the best.
Sure. So, to begin with, all I can say is the first step to begin with is you just start with any physical activity. Physical activity, any it can be anything like walking, running, jogging, cycling, anything, but you have to be very consistent. Consistency is the key. Then you have to maintain good, healthy eating habits. That includes, in case you are a diabetic, you need to have at least every individual who's a diabetic needs to consume at least 1 gram per kg of body weight of protein and 25% of good fats is a must. And the rest can come from carbohydrate that should not exceed 50 to 55%. And it's not only the macronutrients, we need to focus on our micronutrients like chromium, zinc, magnesium, and there are a lot of functional foods to control your diabetes, that like fenugreek, cinnamon, jamun, karela. So it's basically more of, I mean, what I would like to say to people, it's not just diabetes is just not one disease. It brings in a whole lot of diseases with it. It includes your kidneys, your legs, your eyes, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, everything. So I have suffered diabetic feet myself. So I know that's how I began with running. So and in case anybody has any further questions on reversing type 2 diabetes, please feel free to share your questions in the comment box below and we shall definitely get back to you. So, guys, people who do not know, yes, type 2 diabetes can be reversed, and Ronnie is an inspiration, and he's standing live out here in front of us. I hope this episode has inspired a lot of us. And thank you, Ronnie, for joining in, and thank you so much, people, for joining in.
Thanks.
And we shall see you in the next episode of Endura Talks. And have a great, great Sunday and bye bye till then. Bye, Ronnie. Thank you so much. Bye bye,
Goodbye,
guys.
goodbye. Have a nice Sunday.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.